Hi, first grade friends. For reading today, we're going to finish the story, Our Family Stories, written by Carrie Smith. And then when we're done, I would like for you to make a text to self connection. To begin, we're going to open it up and look at the table of contents. This is a text feature that helps us find topics very quickly. And I know that we were reading about Hector and Cammie and Anna and Sammy, and today we're going to read about Eugene. So Eugene will actually be starting on page 12. Let me just flip ahead. Oh, we had another text feature, the heading Family Stories. It just tells the main idea of what this section is about. And we talked about Hector. And on this page, there were photographs. Remember, those are another text feature. But I want to get to Eugene. So now I'm here on page 12 where it says Eugene in big letters. Age 8. And that must be him. Did you ever move to a new town? I did. I was 6. I had no choice. Dad came home and said, if we don't move, I won't have a job. I was in first grade. I had to leave my good friends Josh and Ben. It wasn't easy. Now I'm in third grade and I have new friends, but sometimes I still feel a little sad. So when I look at the pictures, it says, this is me with Josh and Ben at my old house. So that was when he was younger, like in first grade. And over here it says, these are my new friends. And you see, he's older, but he's made friends. Maybe you've moved before. That might make you think of something you would want to tell. Now we go on to Melinda, age 9. We have a big family. I met them all at a family reunion last year. Ooh, see that word reunion? That's a gathering where people get together, okay? We flew all the way to Dallas, Texas. I met about 100 aunts and uncles and cousins. I even met great aunts and great uncles. Everyone had stories about the family. One of my aunts is writing the stories down so we can remember them. So there she is with all her relatives. Remember, when they got together, it was their reunion. And now we're to the end. It says index. And an index is another text feature. The index helps us quickly find where information is in the text. So if we wanted to see, this index says being born was on page 4 and 5. The family reunion was on 14 and 15. Getting glasses was on pages 6 to 7. Moving was on pages 12 to 13. The new baby sister was on pages 10 to 11. And starting school was on pages 8 to 9. So let's just go back. Suppose I want to go to the family reunion. I have to go to 14 and 15. And so I flip my book, and it's kind of hard to see, but there's page numbers. And this is page 14, and way over here, it's page 15. Okay? So now, before we go any further, I have written all the kids' names up here, and I'm going to see if we can't make a little, or tell a little detail, right? I'm going to write 1 or 2 words about what we remember about each of the kids. So when I think about Hector, I could always go back and I could look on Hector's page because there are pictures, which are text features, and words that I could look at to help me remember something about Hector. When I look at him, remember, this is when he was being born. He had to go in a or his mother and father had to go to the hospital by bus, but he was born. So I'm going to think Hector was a story about being born. And oh, this isn't going to work, is it? Let's try my purple one. Being born. Boy, don't have a lot of room. Okay. Now if I want to learn about Cammie, I'm going to put my book back. Do you remember? You might even remember about Cammie. But Cammie was here. Oh, look at the illustrations. Do you remember? She was the one that needed glasses. So I'm going to go ahead and write Cammie was the girl that needed glasses. That's a detail from the story. Next, we're going to go to Anna. And when we look at the text features, I see a picture of her class. And oh, remember, she's the twin. Her sister and her had to be in separate classrooms when they went to school. Her mom wanted them separated, but she was the twin. Let's move ahead to Sammy. Do you remember this was Sammy? And there's his baby sister coming home. They adopted her. So they adopted a sister. Eugene. I'm going to look on Eugene's page. The pictures really help. There he is with his first grade buddies. Now there he is with his older friends. Remember, his dad had to move because of his job, so he had to move. And finally, Melinda was the girl with all of her family, all of her relatives. They had a family reunion. So I'm going to say reunion. Okay, so I'm going to put my book down, and I just have a few words up here that will help me try to think about, do any of these kids have something that I can relate to or think about? Because when I do, when I have an idea in my head that's similar to one of these kids, that's called a self-to-text connection. And I made this little chart called Make a Text-to-Self Connection. How do you do that? Well, you think. This is what you're thinking right here. I can tell what the story reminds me of. Like I might think, oh yeah, I already told you when Cammie got glasses, it reminded me of when I got glasses. I was much older than she was, but I got glasses just like Cammie. Okay? I can tell about a time something happened similar to me. Oh, what is a time that happened similar? Well, you know what? The reunion that Melinda went to, most of my relatives didn't live in Michigan. All my aunts and uncles and cousins actually lived out in Iowa. So once a year, we would go out to my grandma's and grandpa's, and then everybody would get together. And it was kind of like a reunion because their family got together. That's kind of what that made me think of. And then I can tell about a time I had the same feeling as a character or person in the story. When did I have a feeling? Oh, moving. You know, Eugene had to move. My family never had to move, but the first time I moved away from home was when I went to college. And so I kind of had that feeling about, oh, I'm leaving all my friends. I'm going to have to make new friends when I went to college. So that's kind of something that I could relate to. So now I just gave you some examples of me thinking, I could relate to Cammie because I wear glasses. I could relate to Eugene because I moved away from home when I went off to college. And I could relate to Melinda because my family would get together out in Iowa once a year. And then I would see my aunts and uncles and cousins. I'm going to ask that you look for your assignment today because you're going to need to make a text-to-self connection. Thanks. Bye-bye.